Yes guys, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of K's World. My name is Kay. It's Sunday, which means we're going to be running through fits and talking about kicks. So, as always, I just want to start things off by running through what I'm wearing today. I am rocking the Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 t-shirt. It's got the smoking skull on the back. Classic tee. I'm handing out beers and stunners after this video. Paired up with my Gramici shorts. I'm not going to stand up and show you because every time I try to do that, I'm out of shot. It's just a waste of my time, your time. You'll see them later on. And kicks wise, a little bit different today. I'm rocking the Yeezy 700 in the utility black, 6 shoe. Just an easy summer runner for me. I'm kind of going all blacked out today, so busting these today. But that's not what we're here for. So yeah, that's a quick rundown of what I'm wearing. Hey, as always, just want to say a big thank you to all my returning subscribers and all my new subscribers. You guys are rad. Thank you very much for your feedback, as always. I know this video is taking a little bit longer to come out compared to the last one. Still trying to find the balance of work life and fun life and whatever. So yeah, that's my disclaimer. There was supposed to be a new intro track for this. I'm still working on it, but it's going to be worth the wait, I promise you. I'm just going to delay it by another week and say it's coming next week instead. But yeah, that's enough about me. That's enough about my outfits and what I'm doing and my disclaimers. What are we here for? The Nike SBs. So this week, keeping that purple theme going. Obviously, I've run out of purple in my hair. I've got a little bit grey. I'm kind of in an in-between stage at the moment. So full disclaimers if I don't look like usual pretty self today.
Okay.
I had these in rotation quite heavily when I had the purple rinse going through my hair. And this is one of my earliest SBs had. So I wanted to pull these out today. So today we're going to be talking about the Nike SB Appetite for Destruction Guns N' Roses Dunk Low. So this shoe was actually focus point in a podcast I was in earlier this week. That is up online now. It's called My First Kicks Podcast, where I hooked up with a couple of lads called Haas and Iffy. One guy from LA, one guy from New York, and then you had me from Swindon on a podcast talking about the difference between the UK and US sneaker scene and culture. It wanted me to talk about my first ever kick. Obviously, I've had plenty of kicks up until this point, but this was my first memorable dunk, I guess. Any other dunks that I would have had, I would have moshed through, worn through, partied in, and battered. It was only at this point, this was one of the first ones that I was like, oh, I need to get those. And I made a specific trip for them and preserved them. And actually, this is the second time I've owned this shoe. So the first pair were battered, worn, and I actually got these part of a big trade deal with my boss when he was getting rid of a load of his collection. So quite nice to have it back around again. The first pair are mashed and I don't know where they are right now actually. So it was quite cool to talk about this shoe in particular, a shoe that means a lot to me. I originally picked up my first pair of these from 50/50 in Bristol when they were on Park Street. I know they've relocated now. And I remember specifically going to get these just before going to see the Mighty Boosh at the Hippodrome. And I remember I was wearing a pair of battered old Air Force Ones on that day. And I changed into these before going to the show, leaving my Air Force Ones in the back of my friend's car. We came out of the show, my friend's car's been broken into, a load of stuff's been nicked, including my 50/50 bag. Now, luckily, for me, I'd swapped out and worn these to the show, so whichever scumbag stole my shit only ended up with a pair of battered old Air Force Ones. So quite ironic, quite funny. I'll go into that story a little bit more detailed on Iffy and Haas's podcast. My First Kicks will be linked in the description below. So feel free to go check that out. Highly recommend it. They invited me on and it was my first ever podcast that I've been on, and it's quite nice to be warmed up to it by these rad guys. So check them out, especially Iffy's Instagram page himself. He's a pretty funny guy with really funny content. Haas is a very knowledgeable guy when it comes to dunks, so we have very similar tastes when it comes to the shoes. Both want the same kicks. Luckily, he's a size 13 and I'm a size 8, so there's never going to be a conflict there. But yeah, honestly, thank you guys for having me. Please check it out. Really cool guys. More of a focus on this shoe. So it's more audio based as it's a podcast. So that's kind of prompted me to show you guys what these look like. A little bit about the shoe itself. It was obviously inspired by the Appetite Destruction album art cover. An album that's been out for 35 years. And it's still one of the most iconic albums out there. The colour palette matches perfectly to the vinyl cover. and their t-shirt is basically the whole design for that album, which is sick. So you've got that nice like patent orange to yellow sunset-y vibe, which is kind of used on the banner of the Guns N' Roses branding, which is pretty cool, with that real cool purple swoosh with a nice yellow stitching on there as well. So I'm loving the way that yellow stitch contrasts against the purple. It's just a subtle detail against that premium tumbled leather, which is carried onto the toe box, and then you've got the nice mix of soft suede onto the tumbled leather. So it's really cool when they do this, when you mix things up with the black on black materials. Sometimes if you go black on black, you kind of lose a detail of a shoe. So it's very nice to keep the detail so it doesn't look too much like a school shoe from the front. I especially love, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, I haven't got the best light in the world, but you've got that nice purple stitching going on the outsole there. And then red bottoms. See, you can get red bottoms without having bougie spikes. Really nice red bottoms on the bottom. Just sets off the shoe nicely. I've obviously, as I've got older, I've banged on the black laces. I used to rock these back in the day with the yellow laces quite heavily. I think the black just tones it down a little bit more. I was rocking it with an Undertaker t-shirt this week, so I kind of just wanted to tone down the shoe a little bit, which is pretty rad. But yeah, really cool shoe. It's a gold box from 2007. I had to make sure I get the boxes right this time. I messed up last week by calling the Goofies a blue box.
I fucked up.
Obviously, in my own arrogance, and I know better than everybody else, I didn't check up on myself. I kind of rushed the video, so my bad. I was wrong. I should have fact checked on myself, but a lot of the stuff I say is off of memory. I don't keep all of my shoe boxes here, so that's my disclaimer. But yeah, back to the shoe. Really rad shoe. Nice blacked out front. Just little hits of colour, exactly what you want. Works perfectly in my wardrobe, which is mainly dark wardrobe with bursts of colour, so I can dress it up or down. Wear it in the summer, wear it in the winter. Yeah, it's a shoe I'm glad that I managed to get again. So it's one of the only shoes that I've ever doubled up on. I don't think I need to triple up because they get rotated through quite nicely, and you know, there's still a lot of life left in them. This shoe often comes up in conversation when I'm talking about dunks. Like I said, it's one of my first proper SBs where I knew what was going on. I'd had orange box label stuff before. I was just consuming that from skate shops and just moshing in them, so...
Coronavirus!
So this is the first time I actually cared about a shoe and wanted to keep it, and jammed it with my Guns N' Roses t-shirt, various MySpace merch. Yeah, very cool. I remember specifically it being a tough choice between this and the Skate or Dies. So back in the day, I went for these, and then it took me years later to get the Skate or Dies. I'm glad to be in the position I am now where I have both, so I can rotate through both, which is really cool. Shout out Axl Rose, shout out Slash. Unfortunately, when I got to see Guns N' Roses live, Slash wasn't part of the band. I only got to see them with Buckethead. They were still sick, but I can say I've seen Guns N' Roses and I've ticked them off my bucket list, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, that's a kick. As always, I'm going to link up with Andy, link up with the boys at work, shoot this with the fit. Planning on busting my Undertaker t-shirt, a pair of really baggy Edwin cargos, which are sick. They're called the Jungle Pant. Really excited to show you guys how they drop. We're going to catch up with the boys, and I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Big up Andy for taking some shots. Thank you Luke Knotts for the trim. Cool, when we're back, that was a blast, shooting in Old Town with Andy. Just a quick rundown on my fit, because I didn't get a chance to talk about it while we were filming, is I was wearing the Undertaker Hundreds t-shirt from the WWE collab last year, or the year before. One of my favourite t-shirts, good use of purple, one of my favourite wrestlers, sick guy. I had the Edwin Jungle Pant on, which is really cool, nice and baggy with a wide opening at the bottom, which when you don't toggle it in, it sits perfectly on any dunk, so perfect for any dunk heads that are out there. Finished off with these, and what you couldn't get much detail of in the shot is my Stussy vest that I had on with it. So yeah, that was a quick, very brief run through on my video. I said, I'm working on a new intro video and a new vibe. I'm just waiting on some bits to come through. Just want to thank you guys for joining me again this week. If you liked what you've seen up to this point and you haven't subscribed yet, sub me up. I'll be back next week. I'm not sure what kick I'm going to go through next week or where my journey is going to take me. But hopefully, like I said, I'll have this new intro music and vibe ready for you guys. It's going to be worth the wait. As always, I just want to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the love you guys give me through DMs, through Instagram, on here, Facebook, in person. You guys are literally the best and have made this journey so fun so far. Yeah, I will see you guys next week. Until then, stay safe, have fun, enjoy the sunshine. I'll see you soon. Peace.